And the world in which we're in is a world dominated, unfortunately, by people who classify themselves as white, but not just because they're classified as white, but because many of them, not all, but many of them has classified themselves as white in order to practice something called white supremacy, the system of white supremacy, which means to dominate and mistreat people who have color in their skin. Non-white people. That's what it's about. And these books, both volumes, the basic textbook and the word guide, are supposed to be designed to help the individual person to combat this system of mistreatment in the form of what is called racism and or white supremacy by replacing that system with a better system individually, each and every day, doing things that will help to replace it. That's what the book is designed for. That's what its intentions are for. I may not have done the best job of doing it, and apparently I haven't, because it hasn't happened yet. We'll only know if we're on the correct track if we can utilize some of the formulas, some of these suggestions in this basic textbook to think, speak, and act in a manner, as individuals, in a manner that will counteract this system of racism and replace it with a system of justice, which means guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help each and every day, everywhere in the known universe. People talking about their problems. And if it's non-white people, it's going to lead to a discussion about race and or racism. But the best way to start a discussion of any kind is don't mention anything about race and or racism. That's one of the worst ways. I've heard people say that they try to talk about race on the job. No, absolutely not. Well, you have white people around on the job and all like that, and you're going to start talking about race. For one thing, they're immediately going to put up all kind of defenses, and then they're going to become hostile, most likely. See, so you want to always be scientific. Scientific means you do things in the best possible manner to get the best possible result. Always think about the result you're looking for, not just what you're doing. What is going to be the result? So you talk about a thing called justice. This is the thing you focus on in all discussions. Now, what is justice? Justice is guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. Underline the word constructive. A lot of people say they need help, but when they start going into details about the help that they need, some of that help that they are asking you to help them with is not constructive. So you just raise a question about that. Is this constructive? This thing you want me to help you do? Is it going to have a constructive effect? And if so, how? How is it going to have a constructive effect? Okay. And let them tell you. And just always stay in the question lane for the most part. In any discussion, stay in the question lane and don't argue about the answers that you get to the question. Ask another question.
Yeah.
That's the procedure. See, what starts arguments, you should never have an argument. You should always have a discussion. Now, what's the difference between the two? A discussion always leads to something constructive.
Yes, sir.
All right? An argument leads to something non-constructive.
Okay.
So anytime you get a non-constructive effect in what you're saying, that means you're having an argument.
Yes.
So to get out of that, what's the procedure? Ask questions and don't argue about the answers that you get. Just ask another question.
Okay.
Because questions and answers will take everybody right where they need to be.
Yes, sir.
Not where people particularly want to go. but it'll take everybody right where they need to be. That's the logic of the universe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's not Neely Fuller talking. That's
All right.
the logic of the universe. And if you don't believe it, try it.